The concert was billed as the town's event of the year, but while concert-goers funneled in, teenagers lurked in the shadows. The location was all the boys could afford, but they didn't mind since music always leaked from the venue, and the boys made the most of whatever they had. The group complained about school, their families, discussed the latest movies, possibly going to college and leaving their home they knew every inch of. They'd give passing couples longing glances, then resume their discussion, ignoring their unspoken desire for a relationship with the opposite sex. A cheer erupted in the venue, familiar music seeped from the walls, and the boys drummed along to the beat. "You're excellent drummers," a woman that could have been a model approached. She was the Aztec trickster god of musicians and storytellers, Huehuecoyotl. And this is Legends from the Pacific. Aloha, and thank you for joining us. This is Legends from the Pacific, episode 118, the Aztec trickster god, Huehuecoyotl. I am Kamuela Kaneshiro, a native Hawaiian professional writer, speaker, and Comic-Con panelist with extensive film and television experience. I study mythology, I've encountered unusual things, and I'm a geek. Our ebook, Legends from the Pacific, Book 1, is now available on Amazon. These are variations of our stories from episode 1 through 50, so support our show and click the link in our show notes to purchase your copy today. Later in this episode, your featured song and Hawaiian word, but first, let me share with you the Aztec god of mischief. As usual, I apologize for any mispronounced names or words and appreciate your understanding. Huehuecoyotl is the Aztec trickster god of male sexuality, musicians, storytellers, seamsters, and sex workers. So most likely the deity worshipped by the Seamstresses Guild in Terry Pratchett's Discworld. Huehuecoyotl's name loosely translates to Old Coyote or Old Drum. He has a male body with a coyote head, though he's appeared as an anthropomorphic demonic dog or coyote with a human skull. This is possibly because he is a shapeshifter who can become a person or animal as well as man or woman. He's had many partners who were male, female, god, and goddess. While he's hedonistic, he's neither good nor bad, but neutral. This may explain his connection between youth and adulthood. Though he possesses deep wisdom, spiritual knowledge, and street smarts, he is known for doing very immature and stupid things. He is known for playing pranks on gods and mortals, but with all his vast knowledge, his pranks sometimes backfires, and he's the ultimate victim. He associates with the god of sickness, fire, and dogs, and enjoys humans. Because of his easygoing attitude, mortals found him very approachable, and those who displeased other gods sought his favor so he could lessen the god's punishment. But while Huehuecoyotl taught mortals a few songs and stories, and seems like a god you'd want to hang out with, remember, he's neutral, and has started wars among mortals just because he was bored. The boys did their best to transition their drumming to everyday gestures. The woman giggled. "There's no need to stop. I love drummers." The music continued as the boys stared at her. She smiled. "Are you all blushing?" "No." The boys wiped their faces to cover their warm cheeks. "We don't have any money," one of the boys said. "That's why we're out here." "I don't care about that," she said. "I'm new here, and you guys probably know every inch of this place, don't you?" "Probably," another boy said. They wanted to believe a beautiful woman was interested in them, but years of pranks and humiliation from attractive peers told them otherwise. "How about we have a little fun?" the woman said. "What did you have in mind?" "You know, the abandoned building over there?" The woman exposed her neck while nodding over her left shoulder. "Who knows what we can get into?" The boys' raging hormones were silenced by their grandparents' warnings of strangers and teachings of the old ways. "No," they said, "we're good." "Come on," the woman cooed. "I promise, it'll be worth it." They joined her and went to the abandoned building. Each of the boys' steps made them lightheaded with excitement, but the back of their minds screamed danger. The boys' steps quickened. "Hey," the woman said from their right. "Slow down." "What's the matter?" a boy said. "Yeah," another said. "You can't keep up? I thought you wanted to have fun." The woman trotted at their side. "I can keep up with you silly boys." "Race ya," the boys chimed and ran. The property's rusted chain fence glowed in the moonlight. Ahead of the parallel line of boys was a dark spot in the fence, created by the dilapidated building's shadow. The woman closed her gap to their right. "What are you doing?" "Haven't you ever played chicken with a fence?" a boy said. "Yeah, I thought you could keep up." The boys sprinted away laughing. 20 feet from the fence, the woman regained her place at their right. 15 feet. The boys laughing became a low yell. The woman inched into the lead. The boys ran harder, reclaiming the lead. No trespassing signs along the fence made their yell a scream that peaked as they plunged into the darkness. The wire fence clanged, something slammed into a metal post. The boys shot through a hole in the fence, darkened by shadow, and emerged in the moonlit property. The debris-littered grounds was a junkyard obstacle course. "Come on," a boy yelled. "I thought you could keep up." The boys cleared each obstacle with second-nature grace, while slams, crashes, and coyote yips faded behind them. The teens cleared the final obstacle and went to the nearest boy's home. Bursting in startled the teens' younger sisters watching TV, as the yelling collective went to the kitchen and got water while recalling their victory. The teens' mother silenced the gaggle and kicked them out for being so loud and smelling like sweat. The night whispered the concert and cooled their damp skin. The teens' father came home from work and greeted them. A coyote's howl pierced the night. The father faced it. "Sounds like a coyote out by the abandoned plant." The teens smiled. "Yeah, you boys better be careful." The father went inside. "We will." The boys enjoyed their water and sounds of the night. Do you know who the Hawaiian volcano god was before Pele, or who the Hawaiian god of poison was? Become a Legends from the Pacific Patreon member to hear these rare stories, enjoy early access to our episodes, and other nifty benefits. So click the link in our show notes and become a Legends from the Pacific Patreon member today. As always, a big mahalo nui loa to our current Patreon members, whose support keeps our show going. Just a reminder that our show is now released on Wednesdays instead of Sunday, but I'm doing my best to have new episodes for our Patreon members before the weekend. So, what'd we learn? Well, Huehuecoyotl is cool for speaking on your behalf with the gods. I mean, he's literally the middleman. What a bro. But his role really makes sense when you look at the bigger picture. He's a shape-shifting trickster, which reflects the change men and women experience going through adolescence. His connection with seamsters places clothes with music and stories as things which are used to seduce others. Of course, pranks can be seen as the last bits of childhood immaturity, which occasionally surface. But the whole mischievous aspect and doing stupid things aligns with youngsters struggling with all their physical and hormonal changes on top of trying to impress the opposite sex. I'm sure the stories of adolescent trouble we've all gotten into would fill its own podcast. That's not a bad idea. If you like what you heard, please give us a rating and write a review. I'd really appreciate it. Our theme song is Mystery by Tavana, courtesy of High Sessions. Sound effects are by Sound Effects Factory. Our music coordinator is Matt Duffy, aka DJ TripleBypass. Links and show notes can be found on our website, legendsfromthepacific.com, including a link to your featured song, which is Friends by Brittany Paiva, courtesy of High Sessions. Legends from the Pacific was written, produced, and edited by me, Kamuela Kaneshiro. I also wrote our original stories. Your featured Hawaiian word is ho'aloha, Ho aloha means friend. An example of ho aloha is Thor called Hulk a ho aloha from work, even though they fight a lot. Once again, ho aloha is Hawaiian for friend. Thank you once again for listening. Mahalo and a hui ho!